So, in today's episode, we're going to be having a look at the different types of piglins and different type of piglin bases that have been revealed so far for Minecraft Legends. And at the end of the video, we're going to be having a look at some possible piglin bosses that might have been revealed in one of Minecraft Legends trailers. So, I hope you all enjoy, and let's get on with the show. So, starting things off, we have the runts and grunters. These are the small piglins. There are thousands of them, and they typically carry things like maces or blaze rods. And why they probably don't deal much damage, nor do they have much health, just like pawns in a chess game, why they are very weak, they are still very important. And if you leave them unattended, they could do some real damage. And next up, you have piggos, which are basically hoglins with armor. There's not really much to say. I'm sure they probably deal quite a bit of damage and have quite a bit of health. But as I said, they're just hoglins with armor. Wait, why did they change the name to piggos again? And that was all of the more basic piglin types. The runts, the grunters, and the piggos. Now let's move on to a couple more of the specialized piglins. Starting with the portal guards. Now, if you couldn't tell from their name, they're the piglins that guard the portals. And they look very fierce. They're probably going to be more on the higher end for powerful piglin types. And they're probably going to be pretty difficult to defeat. So if you ever encounter one, you better be on your guard, because they sure will be. Now we have this type of piglin that seems to roll up into a spiked ball and charge towards your army. Now, I don't think there is an official name for this piglin yet. However, I do believe it will probably work very similar to how the grindstone golems work. If you don't know, the grindstone golems charge toward the enemy and knock them over, briefly stunning them. And I imagine this is the piglin equivalent of that. So it will roll up into a spiked ball, charge towards your army, and knock them over, temporarily stunning them. However, this is more just a theory, and this might not be what they actually do. So take this with a grain of salt. And last but not least, we have the lava launchers. Now this, out of all of the piglins that have been revealed, these seem to be the most powerful, at least according to the developers. I don't fully know what they do. As you can see from this picture here, they are literally a massive hoglin with a cannon strapped to their back. So I have no doubt this is going to be powerful. We did get to see some gameplay from it in the 9 minutes of gameplay we got from Minecraft Live 2022, and there it didn't seem all too powerful. So I don't know, maybe it's being a bit overhyped. But that are all the piglins that we know of so far. Now, there are some more piglins that have been shown in concept art, or maybe you've seen in the background of trailers. However, we don't really know what these piglins could or will do, so I'm just going to leave them out for the time being, and when Minecraft Legends releases, I'll make a more proper in-depth guide across all the piglins and how to defeat them. But with that, let's move on to what the piglins will be defending. That is the nether portals, aka the piglin bases. Now, there are going to be many different types of piglin bases. Starting off with this small one with one layer of walls around. This is probably going to be the easiest piglin base. Might even act as more of like an outpost style thing. As long as you have the resources, it's going to be super easy to take down. And then you have this seemingly medium style base with 2 layers of wall, and sometimes it seems to have a lava lake around it. Once again, in a very similar fashion to the last one, it just has an extra couple layers of defense. However, I think if you have the resources, it will be pretty easy to take down once again. Now, moving on to some more of the specialized piglin bases. While the last two kind of acted and seemed more like kind of outpost style base, not really main proper bases, these are main proper bases. Starting off with this one that seems to be all themed around the warped forest, kind of warped fungus type of base. And its special property seems to be that it doesn't really have any walls around it. And that's because most of the structures are built on top of these kind of pillar landmass type things. So that means the way that you will reach the nether portal is you will actually have to build bridges to it. And of course, like I just said, this base seems to actually have a theme to it, being the warped fungus theme, while the last two kind of seemed more just outpost style, didn't really have a theme to it. This one actually has a theme to it, being warped fungus. Now that could mean that this is one more of the main bases and one of the possible places where you could encounter one of the Piglin bosses, which we will be talking about later. But for now, let's move on to the next base, being this once again really open style base, and it doesn't seem to have a proper theme to it to what I can see, maybe Crimson Forest theme. However, unlike the warped fungus themed base, this one seems to have a lot more defenses. There are things flying at you everywhere. There are a lot more walls, even though it is still kind of more open towards the middle of the base. And I just think that there's so much defenses and so much stuff happening with this base that this could even be the base where you fight the final boss of Minecraft Legends. And talking about the final boss of Minecraft Legends, let's have a look at what those bosses could possibly look like. Now, we first got a look at these bosses when they revealed the opening cinematic for Minecraft Legends. And as you can see, there are 4 of them in total. Now, we're going to be starting off with this first big one. Now, this one seems to be the king of the Piglins, and most interesting out of all of them, as you can see, he seems to have these purple glowing scars all across his body and these glowing purple eyes. Now that is very odd for Minecraft actually, because of course typically purple in Minecraft is associated with the end, not really the nether. So I don't think there's any sort of connection to the end, but that's definitely interesting, and it possibly could be the reason why he's quote-unquote the king of the Piglins. Maybe he has this super special purple energy source, I don't know, but one thing is clear, and that is he is the king of the Piglins. And also interestingly, while recording this video, I didn't think we actually had any gameplay footage of any of these Piglin bosses, so to say, but we actually have of the Piglin King. You can see him here swinging his mace sword thing around and around, so that's actually pretty cool. It is officially confirmed these probably most definitely will be the bosses of Minecraft Legends. Now, if that purple scarred Piglin is the king of the nether, then these are probably his generals. There are 3 of them in total that we can see so far, and out of the 3, even though they are smaller than the Piglin King, they are nonetheless interesting. So let's have a look at them, starting with the one on the far right. And this one, to me, is the most interesting out of all of them. As you can see, he is covered once again in that warped fungus and probably is the leader of the warped fungus faction of the Piglins. Then you have the one in the middle. Now this one is interesting as it seems to be riding a hoglin like we have seen a few times before now. And the most interesting thing is he seems to be decked out in this sort of bone armor. So maybe he is the leader of like the Soul Sand Valley faction of pigs, as bones is typically associated with that biome in Minecraft, or the bone faction, whatever you want to call it. And he also, once again, it seems really interesting, really cool design. I love all of the Piglin designs. And then the last one on the left, we don't really get a good look at him. He's a lot stubbier than the other ones, and he seems to have this almost like blackstone netherite gold armor. And while I'm sure he probably will be pretty powerful, since we don't really get a good look at him, he's probably the weakest out of all of them that we can see so far. But that is all that we have for the Piglins and that we know of so far. Now there is a very good chance I missed something, so if I did, please let me know down in the comments below. And I also want to quickly apologize for the audio in this video. I don't really know why it seems to have gone so haywire and isn't that great. I'll look into it, I promise. Clearly the Piglins don't want us discovering all of their secrets, but we're gonna have to if we're gonna have any chance of taking them down in Minecraft Legends. But that is it for today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment your thoughts. Once again, if I missed anything, please let me know down in the comments below. And if you would like to learn more about Minecraft Legends, specifically the mobs you will need to fight the Piglins, then I will leave a link down in the description below to a video that can help you out. But with those final words, see ya!